My name is Joseph Wooten, like he said, and I've been a musician all of my life. I'm second to the youngest in the Wooten brothers, a family of five very talented, accomplished, musical, handsome brothers from Nashville, Tennessee. The youngest of whom is Victor Wooten, who was, yep, see, Victor always gets my applause. Uh, Victor was just recently voted as one of the top 10 electric bassists of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. We're pretty proud of that. So, since 1993, like he said, I've been the keyboardist and a vocalist with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Steve Miller and his Steve Miller Band, That View Never Gets Old. I share a birth date with the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment, and I'm a super optimist. I'm so optimistic that even my blood type is B positive. And I'm not quite a superhero, not quite the superhero that I think I wore a superhero's vest. But I am a newly published author, so I'm happy about that. Thank you very much. Now, when my brothers and I were growing up, diligently practicing our music, my mother could see it, and she would just remind us from time to time. She would say, "What does the world need with just another good musician? What the world needs are more good people. We have enough good musicians." So in that spirit, I'm here tonight. Now, I also remember my mother saying from time to time that God is everywhere. And I believed it because she said it, but I could never fully wrap my head around that. How could anything, much less anyone, be everywhere? And then one day, I was walking, just thinking randomly about the Earth and it being stable at the equator and at the polar axis. I'm not sure what they had to do with it, but on this particular day, it dawned on me that the equator is 0% longitude and 100% latitude, and the polar axis is 0% latitude while simultaneously 100% longitude. And that point in the middle where the two planes meet is a place that is zero while at the same time being everything. 0 and 100%. Nothing yet everything. That made me scratch my head. I was like, nothing and everything. Things started to make more sense. Let's see. Now, do you know what this is? You probably don't. But these are all the notes to the national anthem. But it doesn't sound like the national anthem. And why? Because there are no spaces between the notes. Now, spaces between the notes make music, not the notes themselves. Spaces between the notes make music. So what is space? Space is really nothing. It's zero. But it's space that gives the notes their meaning, their context, and their purpose. In fact, the notes really do the bidding of space. Space is basically nothing. But in music, space is everything. See, notes are like the beautiful confetti thrown into the wind of music. See, music is a powerful experience. Music can take ordinary words and make a person feel with much more impact words that wouldn't be felt nearly as much if they were just spoken instead of sung. So think about the national anthem, just spoken and not sung. Right? Not really the same. Think about the civil rights anthem, We Shall Overcome, spoken and not sung. Do you think it would have had the same impact on the civil rights movement? We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. See, now that is powerful. That is powerful. So once again, spaces and notes create music. Music creates an experience. Experience can be shared. Sharing creates connection, and connection facilitates change and meaningful growth. Now, that's why music can be such a powerful tool for peace, a powerful tool for unifying peace, because it does with ease what mere words and speeches have trouble doing. It bypasses the contemplation and the argument and goes straight to the experience, and no one can talk you out of or separate you from music that moves you or music that you feel connected with. Rarely does any music start a fight or an argument. Seldom is there any harm done with music. Now, I was told by a once popular musician who is now an FBI agent that in some parts of the world, they literally cut the hands off of the musicians, terrorists cut the hands off of musicians because they know just how dangerous that the influence of an artist can be to that radical, violent agenda. See, around the world, music is powerful. If you say something positive, people may listen, but if you sing it or you put it into a song, it just may change the world. 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 See, now, in life, pretty much everything that we see and encounter is based off of numbers. We're born on a certain day, at a certain time, in a certain location, we're a certain height, we're a certain weight, certain number of siblings, etc., etc. At first glance, you would think that life is based upon certainty, but that's not entirely true, especially when you take a closer look at what a number is, right? We tend to identify numbers by their quantity. And you wouldn't be wrong to do that, but just like playing all the notes of a song at the same time, you'd be missing the main component, which is space. The experience is in the spaces, and the gaps between the notes are driven by your intent. You see, space is zero that we have an opportunity to use. Space and zero give us opportunity. Now, these numbers that we're talking about, every number that we see is truthfully zero first. Zero is the reality of a number. One is not just one by itself. One is 0, 1. 2 is 0, 2. And just like every finite number, every one of us in here is zero first. Because we started from nothing, and we'll return to nothing when our days are done. We don't write that zero anymore, but it's still there, whether we write it or not, whether we believe it or not. On the earth, zero is really the alpha and the omega. See, there's a lot that we can learn about life from music and musicians. Okay, now first, music is always created in a spirit of cooperation. Musicians walk in the room knowing we're on the same team with the shared desire to create a mutual beautiful experience. Musicians know that diversity is always good, and musicians also know that it's imperative that if anything good is going to happen, that we have to listen to each other. Now, when we disagree, we could stand to learn from musicians too when we talk about politics, religion, protest, race, all those things we argue about. We could stand to take some notes from music and musicians, because in those conversations, seldom do we listen enough. Seldom do we have the desire to share an experience. Seldom do those conversations happen in the spirit of cooperation. They're too focused on the data, the numbers, the statistics, the specifics. An analogy. If I were to walk up to you and slap you, hopefully not, but if I were to slap you, the data could tell you when I slapped you, where I slapped you, how hard I slapped you, what hand I slapped you with, what angle I slapped you. But all of that detailed information would miss the most important part, the experience, how you were affected, were you hurt, did you have any desire to slap me back at some point? Yeah, she says, oh yeah, I'd slap the heck out of you. Yeah, I know, I understand, so I'm leaving you alone. Everything that we can see and hear is there to teach us not so much about what we can see and hear, but what we feel. You see, the wind is a lot more important than the confetti, right? Okay, so we spend a lifetime on this earth trying to understand the meaning of this space. And your life, just we spend a lifetime trying to figure out the meaning of this space here on Earth. And just like the stability of the planet shows us with certainty, zero is much more than meaningless non-existence. Zero is steadiness. Zero is cohesiveness. It's the room to operate. It's opportunity. Zero is what gives us a chance to be here and do this thing right here. So if we're fortunate enough to live to be 100 years old, that's only 36,525 days. We'll be sleep through a third of that. We'll spend a good deal of it in traffic. We'll waste time holding grudges, being angry, being envious. Life is short. But that life started on a certain day, and it will end on a certain day also. And that space in the middle, this space in the middle, this time right here is what means the most. And even whatever you've done with it, whether you think you've done a lot or you've done nothing, remember that nothing is everything and it all matters. Thank you very much. I got one more thing that I can see that my time is up, but I got one more thing. I'll make sure that I'll make it quick. Raise your hand, one person if you want to participate. Raise your hand. Okay. Say something positive, short, 3 words, 5 words. Fantastic boots. Fantastic boots. Something about life. Yes. Life is an experience. Okay, we're going to turn that into music because we want to show the power of music, how it can turn ordinary words into something great. Life is an experience. Remember, the space between the notes makes music, but it doesn't do it by itself. It's driven by intent. So sing it as if you mean to change the word. Life is an experience. Life is an experience. Sing it with me. Life is an experience. One more time. Life is an experience. Life is an experience. This just may change the world. My name is Joseph.